Okay, hey y'all. My jacket in the way. But I got my iPad right here. So if y'all see me, like, catch me looking down, it's because my iPad is right there. Hold on. All right. All right. So, hey guys. Welcome back to my channel. By the title, you could tell that we're doing a story time today. I think I told you, I mentioned it in my last vlog that I was gonna do a story time today. Yeah, by the title you see what it's about. Y'all, let me just say this, okay? I was real Delulu. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I had a phone call. But yeah. What I was saying, yeah, I was real Delulu. I knew I was pregnant. I knew I was. In my soul, I knew I was pregnant. But I just ignored all signs. Basically, I ignored all of them. I didn't care. I was like, forget it. It's cool. So this is about how I found out I was pregnant. So I honestly know the day that I conceived my son. I know the exact day that it happened. If I can, I'll try to upload a picture of the day and what I look like on the day that it happened. I was young, y'all. I was real young. When it happened, like after it happened, like something in me said, dang, you messed up. But I was like, no, because I was on birth control. But the thing was, I was on birth control, but I had just switched over from one brand to another because the brand that I originally had was giving me some bad side effects. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, my doctor was like, okay, I'm going to prescribe you something else. So I had just started another brand, literally not too long before that. So I was just like, oh my God, I just messed up. But I was just like, no, I'll be fine. I was not fine. But I thought I was. So moving forward, my nephew, he was 2 at the time. He was like literally connected to my skin. And I remember somebody telling me, you pregnant. Cause he's like attached to you. Like, you sure you're not pregnant? And I was like, I ain't pregnant. Like, what? He just loved his auntie. Like, what you mean? And lo and behold. But anyway, me and my son's dad had went like on multiple dates. We had been out. We had went to my granny's annual Christmas party, everything. And I really just was not worried about it at all. The first sign that something possibly couldn't be right, like any other woman, was that my monthly was late. I usually, at this point, I didn't really keep up with like when it was coming, but I knew that I hadn't had it in a while. But I was like, maybe I'm just tripping. Like, maybe it hadn't been that long and it's gonna come, soon enough. It never came. It never came. So after Christmas came around, that's when my nephew came with me, and he spent the night. And when I tell you he was like connected to my hip, I could not get rid of him. He slept in the bed with me. He slept under me, cuddling me, everything, every night. Like, he would not leave my side. Me and my son's dad had went out somewhere. He came with us. We went to the movies and he came with us. It was just, he just did not want to leave my sight. So that happened, and then New Year's came along. Excuse me. New Year's came along, and me and my son's dad had decided that we was gonna get a hotel room and we was gonna get some bottles. So we had went and got the bottles, and we had got clear and we had got dark. The dark, let me tell you, when we got to the room and he opened it, and I'm not a dark girly at all. I wasn't a dark girly then, and I'm dang sure not a dark girly now because of this. So we got to the room and he opened the dark bottle. And I remember saying, oh no, I'm not trying it. Because he wanted me to try. He was like, at least try it. But I was like, no, I'm not trying it. It's too strong. He was like, you smell it? Mind you, I'm sitting right here. He's like over there opening the bottle. And I smelled it. And he was like, you smell that? And I was like, yeah, it's too strong. And he kind of gave me a look like, what's wrong with you? Now, when he did that, automatically in my head, I said, I hope I'm not pregnant. I said it to myself. I did. I didn't say it to him, but I said it to myself. And after that, I got up and I went to the bathroom just to check to see if anything was happening, and it wasn't. I was like, okay, maybe it'll come tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, I get up, I go to the shower. Nothing. I'm like, okay, all right. Some days go on, and he calls me, and he's like, I'm about to leave work and come over there. Do you want something to eat? Now, normally, us women, we don't know what we want to eat. Okay? We don't know what we want to eat. We just kind of like, okay, like, you name stuff, we're like, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. This specific day, baby, I knew exactly what I wanted. And not only did I know exactly what I wanted, I had a couple things that I wanted. So, I had told him I wanted some crab legs. I wanted some wings. I wanted a burger. I wanted some chicken. I wanted some taco. Like, I had a taste for all these things. And he was just like, what? Like, giving me look like, what's going on with you? And he told me, he was like, that's how I knew that you was pregnant. When that day you knew exactly what you wanted, you had all this, like a list of stuff that you wanted, I knew something went right. I knew it. So, but me, I didn't really think too much of it. I just thought it was me knowing what I wanted to eat. I didn't think too much of it. Time goes on, we together, and at this time that's when like Redbox movies was big and people was getting Redbox movies and stuff. So he had a Redbox movie that he wanted to take back, and I rode with him to the store to take it back. And I sat in the car while he took the movie back. And I started to realize, like, the longer I sat there, I started to realize he been gone a little minute. And I couldn't call him, couldn't text him, because he left his phone in the car. So I'm like, okay. All right. Okay. So he eventually comes out, because I was going to go in and go get him. I was like, I'm going to give him 2 minutes. And if he ain't out, I'm going in. He eventually came out. And he comes to the car and he looking like suspicious, like he's sneaky, like he up to something. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on with you? He don't have no Redbox movies in his hands, so I'm really confused. I'm like, what's going on? So he pulls out the pregnancy test and lays it on like the armrest, and he was like, here you go. And I'm looking like, no, you didn't. Cause y'all, I didn't want to take a test. Like, I knew if I took a test that was a jinx. And let me rewind. A day before that, I was out with one of my cousins, and Thing One, we was out, and it was me, Thing One, her boyfriend at the time, and my cousin was in the car. And I said to them, I said, y'all, I think I'm pregnant. And they all looked at me like, what? Have you taken the test? And I was like, no, it's a jinx. It's a jinx. I'm not taking no test. I'm not taking it. Like I said, delusional. So when he came in that car with that test, I was like, why would you do this to me? Like, you're jinxing me at this point. Like, I'm hopeful that my monthly is going to come and that everything is going to go away. We're going to be good. Right? No. He was like, you finna take this test. Like, we finna go back to the crib and you finna take this test. So I'm like, dang, okay. So we get back to his house and we walk in and his mama is sitting on the couch. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why me? And the only reason why I said that was because I was like, I hope she don't see this test that I'm about to take. And how I knew she could possibly see it was the way their house was set up. When you walk in, it's the living room. When you go straight, it's a hallway that leads to 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. When you go down the hallway, his room is immediately to the right. In order for me to go to the bathroom, I would have to come out of his room, pass the little walkway, and go to the bathroom that's to the left on the other side. So I'm like, okay. I go in his room and I put my stuff down and I'm just sitting there looking at him like, I don't want the tooties. Like, yeah, I really did not want to do that. Like, that was not something I wanted to do. I was like, no. And he was like, go. Like, go take the test. So I get up, I get the test, and I have it like against my side, on the side where I'm walking in. I know she can't see. Go in the bathroom, pee on the stick. And before I could wipe myself, pull my pants up, anything, 2 lines pop up. I'm like, what? Why me? I'm like, oh God. Okay. So I finished doing what I'm doing, wash my hands, and I'm just sitting there looking at the test like, this can't be real. So I walk out of the bathroom, and again, I put the test on the side where she can't see, and I'm walking into his room. And I immediately just sit down. I don't say nothing. He don't say nothing. It's silent, quiet, nothing, right? So we sit there in silence for a good 5 minutes. Neither one of us said a word. Like, we was silent. No words. You could hear a pin drop. Like, the TV was on, but we weren't saying nothing to each other. I eventually say, so you're not going to say nothing? Like, you're not going to say anything? And he was like, well, the fact that you walked in here and didn't say nothing told me everything I needed to know. And I'm like, all right. So what we do? like what's next? What are we doing? Like, and he was like, I mean, we gonna figure it out. Like, we gonna have to figure it out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so tomorrow I'm making an appointment to go to the doctor just to verify before we, But in my head, I'm like, girl, you pregnant. But I'm like, just to verify, check and verify, I'm finna go to the doctor. So I made a doctor's appointment at Planned Parenthood to go get checked out or whatever. And I remember texting my best friend at the time. And we had gotten to it real bad. We hadn't spoken in a minute. So I remember texting her and I was like, listen, I know you're mad at me. I know we're mad at each other. I know we're not talking or speaking right now. But, ma'am, I think I'm pregnant. And I'm finna go to the doctor and I need you to come with me. I need some moral support. I need you there with me. Yeah. And of course she was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So she came to my house the next day and this girl brought 2 more tests with her. She was like, just take them, Daniel. Just take them. Let's just take them. I'm like, but the lines was there almost immediately. Like, she's like, just take them, just take them. So I went to the bathroom and I took both of them. I didn't take one of them, I took both of them. But they both came back positive. They both came back positive. For sure. Positive. And I was like, Mama gonna kill me. Like, I remember saying that. I was like, well, my mama's gonna kill me. And she was like, okay, well, let's just go to the doctor and see what they say. We get to Planned Parenthood. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be anything different because they didn't take a blood test. They just took a urine sample, and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be my 4th test in the last 24 hours, but let's go. They come back 10 minutes later with a paper confirming pregnancy. Gave me my due date and everything. Mind you, cause come find out they was off because they said my due date was in October, but I had him in September. My actual due date was September 10th. I remember because I was like, dang, a week after my birthday. But he ended up coming 10 days after my birthday. That's how ironic. But yeah, so They gave me the paper. I remember getting in the car with my best friend, and I was like, I can't tell my mama. Like, I can't tell my mama. Like, she gonna kill me. And she was like, Dad, you gotta tell her. Like, you have to tell her. She was like, I'm gonna be there with you. Like, I'm gonna go with you. And I was like, I can't tell my mama. Like, everything in me was like, I can't tell my mama. I'm gonna just call my daddy. Like, literally, that's what I said to her. I was like, I'm gonna just tell my dad. Like, I'm not telling my mama. I'm gonna just tell my daddy. And she was like, but you don't live with your daddy. You live with your mama. Like, you need to tell your mama. So I'm like, okay. So we sitting there waiting on my mama to get home because she wasn't at home yet. So we sitting in my house waiting on my mama to get home, and I'm sitting like at the bar or whatever. And mom walks in. And as soon as she walked in, like, my heart dropped. She didn't even know. She didn't even know yet. But the fact that I saw her face when she walked in, my heart dropped. Because I was like, I'm finna disappoint her. For real. Like, this is real life. Like, when I saw her, it became real. Like, it sunk in. It was like, this is real. And I could feel myself getting emotional. But I was trying to refrain from being emotional. I was like, let me just get it out. So we sitting there, and I'm like, Mama, I need to talk to you. And she was like, what is it? And like, she was literally like over it already. Like, my mom was already over it. It's my time I need to talk to her. Like, she over it already. She like, oh, what is it? Even to this day, she like, what is it? So I was like, I think I just showed her the paper. I don't think I told her. I think I just showed her the paper. And she was like, she looked at my best friend and she was like, this yours? And she was like, no. And she looked at me and I just bust out crying. Like, crocodile tears. I bust out crying because I was like, oh my God. And she came over, she hugged me. She was like, it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Like, she made sure I was good, but I was just like, oh my God, like, why me? Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, I was scared. I was scared, for real. I think that same day, later that night, when Jaden's daddy got home from work, I went to his house. And I told him, I was like, yeah, like, I'm pregnant. Like, for sure, I'm pregnant. And he was like, okay, all right. And I was so nervous and I was so scared that I just told him all the options. I was like, well, we can keep it, we can terminate, or we can do adoption. And he was like, well, I'm not putting my child up for adoption. That's out the question. Like, I'm not doing it. He told me that. He was like, I'm not doing it. And he was like, I got you. Like, we're going to do this, I got you. If you want to do this, we're going to do this, and I got you. And because of that and how secure he made me feel and how, like, he just kind of made me feel like everything was going to be okay, I didn't worry about it. It was good that my mama was okay with it and she, supported me and she, was like, okay, you're going to be okay. We got this. I was okay. And I knew I didn't want to do a abortion. I wanted to, but I didn't want to. Like, I was just like, I don't want to. Because, you have all these stigmas of like, oh, if you get an abortion, you can't have kids no more. And we're going to get into that too. Because, yeah. But, yeah. That's how I found out I was pregnant. That's how I went. And let me tell you, I kept my pregnancy a secret all the way up until my gender reveal. Of course, I told my dad. I told my closest friends, but like other people around me didn't know. Jaden's dad ended up telling his mom, or I think she ended up finding out because he was so excited. Like, he was writing down like stuff he needed to do before the baby came. Like, he was just journaling stuff. And I think she found it, and that's how he ended up telling her. But yeah, it was a crazy, crazy moment for the both of us, because I was like, dang, I'm really doing this. I remember when we first saw Jaden for the first time, like on the sonogram. It was after 10 weeks, of course. And we had went to the doctor. My mom was OBGYN because I didn't have one at the time. And I had went to my mama's OBGYN. And I remember her telling me, she asked me like what my cravings and all that stuff. And I told her like, all I wanted was steak and potatoes. The first, matter of fact, throughout my whole pregnancy, all I really wanted to eat was steak and potatoes. And she was like, either this is going to be a really tough boy or you're, you know, got a carnivore girl. Like, it's definitely a boy. Like, she told me. But I was, in my head, I wanted a girl. So I was like, no, it's a girl. It's a girl. I remember when we saw him on the sonogram, he was moving. He did not stop moving. Like, he didn't want to sit still. Like it was just like his little arms were just flapping and they weren't even fully developed. I was like, this little boy ain't gonna know how to sit still. And he don't. To this day, he don't know how to sit still. But yeah. That's the story how I found out I was pregnant. Woo-wee. That's the story about how I found out I was pregnant. But yeah. That's it. If y'all like this story time, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications on. Also comment down below any other videos you would like to see from me, any more story times, vlogs, sit down videos, anything, whatever y'all want me to do, let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time.